sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Just go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are. Hello. David, tomorrow is if that's the question. So welcome everybody, and hello, this is Andrew David Blake, Newworth's partner program. So kind of unofficially kicking off. I did this last year when we got into talking about, a challenge and why do we do them and what's the purpose and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to start out today actually chatting a little bit about how many of you guys have heard, some of you have, because some of you guys may have been here last year when we did this. How many of you guys have seen the movie The Way with Martin Sheen, not Martin Short, Martin Sheen, The Way?
No.
So it's got Emilio Estevez and it has Martin Sheen and it's called The Way. It's about El Camino de Santiago. How many of you guys are familiar with El Camino? Craig and Sarah are out that way. David, yeah? No?
Yes.
No? Yep. Has anyone done it at all?
No, I am going to do it next year.
Are you really? Awesome.
Yeah.
That's one of my goals too. So let's kind of break this down. So the question is, El Camino de Santiago is a pilgrimage. It's a pathway. Now the movie features Martin Sheen, Emilio Estevez, his son, one of his sons is the director of it. It's just a fantastic movie. I felt like it's fantastic. So I love these journey movies where people go from, one point, not just on this pilgrimage, but in life, in this transformation, right? That's where storytelling gets great. People that kind of have this one point of view and something happens to transform them. And so the question kind of becomes, when was the last time you went on a journey that you chose? Because too often we're going on a pathway and we're walking through life being guided by somebody else. And you need to choose and start choosing the steps that you're taking. So this is why I throw challenges out. I don't do it just to occupy your time. If that's all it was about, don't do them. This is about taking yourself on a journey. Now, the movie with Martin Short, what El Camino de Santiago is the path of St. James. Okay, so there are a number of them. So what they are talking about is the path that they believe that the Apostle James took from one area in Europe to another, to his final resting place, right? So these are the principales rutas del Camino de Santiago. Maria and others that speak Spanish better than me, if I'm incorrect in my pronunciation, feel free to fix that. But there are French pathways, there's Portuguese pathways, there's Portuguese along the coast, there's the north, there's the primitive, there's the English, there's all these different pathways that they have, right? And what it essentially is this pilgrimage of, I want to modify who I am, I want to change my life. They come in and people walk these pathways. Now, some of them are 900 plus kilometers long, and they take 30, 40, 50 days, depending on how long you do it. They come in, they set up a backpack, they get their hiking boots on, and they just go walk. And they'll bring a tent, they'll bring a sleeping bag, they bring clothing, they bring walking sticks, some of them. They'll stay in a hostel along the way, they eat. There's different steps along the way. You end up with like this passport that you get stamped in all these different cities, different activities, all of these different things. And as you're going through it, lots of water and lots and lots and lots, right? Great way to go lose some weight because all you're doing is walking, right? There's all sorts of different reasons that people do it. Some do it for a spiritual journey, just like others, will travel to Mecca once in their lifetime, and others will travel other pathways. Some will do the there's the mountains out in the Pacific Northwest that some people will go and climb along that pathway. There's there's other pilgrimages that you can take all throughout the world. But the point is, and why I love this one. So I watched the movie, fall in love with it. What happened, and this isn't giving anything away because it happens in the first like 5 minutes. It's a father who is a successful dentist, and that's Martin Sheen, and his son passes away. His son didn't follow in his footsteps. His son was supposed to become a doctor as well. and went and just decided that wasn't what he wanted to do, and he wanted to go find himself a little bit. So he decides he's going to go to Europe, and he's going to go travel El Camino, the way. That's what that stands for. He's going to go travel El Camino, and his dad, while he's playing golf one day, gets notice that his son has died unexpectedly. Like as he's getting started, first stop, he passes away. And so in order to go collect his son and his son's belongings, he flies to Europe to go do this. And when he gets there, he decides that in order to honor his son, he's going to walk El Camino in honor of him. And so the movie is this crotchety, grumpy old dude who's pissed off at life and his son about all these choices, taking El Camino and the transformation that he goes through. It wasn't a decision that he wanted to make to go through it, but he did it. And so that's kind of the question. So why do people do this? Why is it? There's all sorts of different reasons, you know, and so if you look things up, and I'm not trying to say, hey, you should go do this, but it's something that I want to do. So why do people go on a journey? Well, look, a lot of people, and they call them pilgrims, they walk to connect and discover a deeper meaning in life, spiritually connect with nature, themselves, with God, however they feel, right? To walk and find answers, because all you're doing is walking and allowing that inner voice to just kind of roam and just talk with yourself. Next, they do it for exercise and well-being. Many people are losing weight. It's a great way to get back in shape, great things for your heart. But you're pushing yourself. You've got to adapt, right? Next, there's that adventure, the spirit, and this comes from them. This comes from some of their websites. So the spirit of Camino is surrender. You're giving up yourself to the moment, to the adventure, to the path, to the change, right? Another reason is you want to disconnect or reconnect. Okay, so it's a great opportunity. Get away from emails, get away from the phone, get away from everything else. And just find yourself, reconnect with you. There's the fun, new people, everything else. Food. I mean, if you want some excuses for good food, you're all throughout Portugal and Spain and Italy. I mean, come on, there's nothing better. So the question is when are you going to go on a journey that you chose? Guys, we're kicking off a challenge this next week. I'm going to give you guys a crap ton of content tomorrow for those of you guys that want to start over the weekend. The challenge is multiple. It's multifaceted. It's going to include work and guidance and a calendar and things to launch your funnel if you haven't yet. It's going to include content and training and tips and tricks for writing better copy, for posting content, for all different platforms and social media. I'm going to give you content for personal growth and development, affirmations, spirituality, meditation, a number of things that I've spent a lot of money on over the last few years. I'm going to give you a list of books that I think are fantastic in different categories. I'm going to give you top 3 books in business and finance and personal development, in emotional growth. Like I'm going to give you I'm deciding if I'm going to do 12 or 15 books. You pick the one or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever that you think works. Pick some of the ones that you like best. I'm going to give you some of them you may have read, others you may not have. I'm going to give you those. We're going to have guests on. There's going to be, Blake is going to come on a few times. Darren is going to come on. Clay is going to come on. I'm going to have some others. Some of these I am going to be sharing live and in person. Some of them I'm going to be sharing while I'm in the midst of a personal journey myself, right? For me, to this point in my life, a vacation of a lifetime. I'm going to be sharing from all sorts of different places all throughout Italy. And I'm going to talk about the things that I'm learning along the way, but I'm going to be challenging you. And the question is are you willing to go on the challenge yourself? There's going to be physical aspects of the challenge for those of you that want to partake in that. This is an opportunity to push yourself in a way that you haven't before. It's an opportunity to push your business in a way that it's a chance to grab some control in your life. And yes, I will give you the tools, but ultimately you are your guide. You are the one that's going to hold yourself accountable. We'll have some, rewards at the end. We'll have things that you can win. The best reward is going to be the fact that your business is running. The best reward is going to be those leads that are coming in. The absolute best is going to be a sense of health and going to pull your pants on and going, holy crap, these don't fit anymore. I need smaller pants. The best is when your wife's going to turn and go, honey, you've been doing something right. I like it. The reward is going to be when you're sitting down at night and there's peace in your heart and in your mind because you recognize that you're progressing. I don't want you guys to overestimate what you're going to be able to do in the 60 days. But if you allow this to be the fuel for the change in your life, then there's all sorts of different things that can happen. And you don't have to be in Spain or Portugal to begin your own pilgrimage. You don't have to be with me in the Amalfi or up by Lake Como. You don't have to be with Craig and Sarah on a boat sailing somewhere, or with Bruce in the middle of the UK, or where everybody else is located. Guys, you have the opportunity to go on your own very personal journey. But you got to be willing to take those first steps. So I will give you every tool I can. Some of you drag along kicking and screaming, others I'm going to just lift and cheer, and the rest of us here are going to do the same thing. We want to see each and every one of you succeed in one way or another. So if you want to pick every one of these challenges and run with them, great. If you want to double down on one or two of them, that's fine as well. But there's a reason that I have you do this. So here's what I'm going to challenge you guys to do today, tomorrow, right? Everybody's working on their business. Everybody's doing everything. If you haven't yet, go watch the movie, The Way, with Martin Sheen. It's phenomenal, right? If you've seen that, then go watch The Secret Life of Walter Mitty with Ben Stiller. Another one that's kind of that adventure thing that I saw that. It was right after my divorce, and it was right when I was starting to finally grasp that, damn it, I could control decisions in my life. I could make my own decisions. I didn't have to hide in the corner. Man, I love that movie. And Sierra kind of laughs at it. She's like, this is just weird and goofy, and that's fine. It resonated with me. But those are two of the ones that I think are fantastic. If you haven't seen it, or maybe it's been a while, go watch it. Go watch The Way with Martin Sheen. It's totally worth it. You know, and if your spouse is like, honey, what the hell are you watching? Like, what are we doing right now? Just be like, hey, sit and think about it. So on that note, yeah, going to the park is an adventure for sure. I'll get to these slides. You can look at them, but go watch the movie, get prepped for tomorrow. Send me any last minute comments on questions, content, etc., that you're going to want to see in the challenge. Again, this is free for everybody. You got to be in the Skype group because that's where updates are going to be happening. So make sure that you're there. And I'm dropping in the link right now again to the challenge, the High Performance Challenge folder. So there's going to be extra content in there. And I'm going to, tomorrow, I'm going to break down, all right, so this folder has this PDF has this has this. Okay. And there's going to be stuff for beginners and stuff for those that are already going. All right. So on that note, appreciate you guys. Love you. Appreciate you being here. Not tomorrow. No, sorry, Friday. Apologies. Yes, tomorrow. No call live tomorrow. I'm going to give you a recording to watch. No live call tomorrow. It's my birthday, so I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be going on slides like a kid at Aquatica water park. So
happy birthday.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. I will talk with you Friday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are. Soon. Bye.